a part of it was like a mask to, oh, there's like a kid coming to play on the playground. I feel like I have to move. I don't want to like block the playground for the girl. Yeah? She's gonna play on the playground. The whole audio was cut off because I didn't use my microphone for this section, so I'm gonna narrate a little bit of what was happening. I was trying to get into the pool, but there was just no way that it was gonna happen. No one had the key, all the neighbors didn't have the key, and right as I was about to give up, my dad just pulled through and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna try doing this for you. I am so happy this ended up working out. Hello, we are at the pool. It was kind of a journey to get here, but we made it work. We tried every way possible and we did not give up. And now we are sitting in the pool in the shade with a better angle, and we are going to continue this episode. Spending time alone and loving that shit and thriving in the presence of your own skin, of your own aura, of your own company, that you really don't need nobody else. And this is not me telling you that you don't need anyone in your life. No, relationships, I will always stress how important relationships are, but the relationship that is most important is the one that you have with yourself. It all roots from you. If you do not know how to take care of yourself, if you do not know how to love yourself, if you do not know how to enjoy your own company, you will always seek out instead of in. And when you're seeking out, you're never fulfilled. You're always going to look for more, more, and more because you're not comfortable in the way that you are, in the way that you think. And I can only say this confidently because that used to be me. I used to be the bitch who used to hate spending alone time. Like, I would literally do everything that I can to fill my schedule from morning to night. Like, I would come home, switch outfits, and go out with another group of people after hanging out with one group of people. I would not want to recharge. I would not want to think. I would not want to spend time alone because spending time alone meant scary. It meant fear. I always felt like I had to be busy. If I wasn't busy, I felt useless. And this goes down to my like career path. It just like filters out to like every single part of my life where it's like I feel like I always have to be on the go and I always have to be achieving this and I always have to be doing this. And if I'm not living life to the fullest, then like I'm just useless and I'm just taking up this space in the world. And that came from a very like toxicity mindset where I just felt like I wasn't enough. There's a lot of things that happens when you spend time alone. And for me, it was forced into spending time alone because I guess I didn't listen to my body enough and my mind enough that like God kind of had to strip me away from the things that were distracting me. So there came a certain point in my life like this year where it's like all my friends just happened to be very busy and like I was very free with my time. I didn't have a job and like I didn't know where I was going with life. And I think there was a part of me because I had all this time in my hands and I didn't have a job and I didn't know where to pour my energy to. I wanted to pour it into the relationship that I was having, but like just because my world kind of quote unquote stopped didn't mean like their world stopped. Their lives just kept going on. They still had to go to a job. They still had like boyfriends to attend to. They still had like different things. But like it was just like me who was like very I'm free, like let's do this and that. And because they weren't, I just had to naturally adapt to like spending time alone and like knowing how to do that. I always used to take so much pride in the fact that I really did like alone time when I was living in LA. Even though I was out and about with my friends, I was still like kind of alone on the weekdays, but I was always occupied on the weekdays because I was always working and I was always at like a cafe. Like I always like liked being out. When I used to live back with my parents, all the good coffee shops are like 30 minutes out, and I would drive purposely 30 minutes out to LA to have the coffee because I was like, I have so much time on my hands that I'm just gonna fill it up because I didn't want free time. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm like where my brain used to be? So like when I was like kind of stripped away from like everything, I had nothing to do but think, and I had nothing to do to like really get inwards. And I really truly realized that maybe I didn't like spending time alone even when I thought I was spending time alone, quote unquote thought I was spending my time alone. Because when you do spend time alone, a new world starts to like open up in front of you. You start to like see the value in yourself more. You don't try to fill your time up with things that are not aligning and that are just like useless to you. So when you have all this time and you are just trying to take up time and you're trying to fill up your schedule, you're looking for anything and anyone that you can to kind of fill that void. It's kind of like going to a grocery shop when you're hungry. Because you're so hungry, everything looks like so delicious. You're like, oh my god, I can do this, I can do that, I can cook this up, this sounds so good, blah blah blah. But what happens when you're full? You're kind of like, wait, why did I buy that? I have to throw that out anyway because now it doesn't sound good. Just like you don't look for friendships, relationships, anything when you are hungry. Like, let's say you're desperate, right? This thing to fill your void and that thing to fill your void and this person to fill your void. Then you lose contact with the person that you need to become for you to attract the better opportunities and the better people for you. Then you're going to start talking to yourself. You're going to start realizing and recognizing there's a lot that comes in the boredom, but sometimes that boredom is so good because in that boredom you find what you've been looking for, literally where your answers lie. And that's kind of what happened. Like in the beginning, it was not easy to just like enjoy the nothingness of it all. But when I started enjoying the nothingness of it all, I started getting more in tune with who I was. I was like, oh wait, I like this. I don't like this. Oh wait, why do I react in the way that I do? For a long time, I didn't really know who to go to talk to. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna lean to myself and lean to God. And then that's when I did. Like everything just started kind of opening up, and it made me value my time so much more because I started enjoying my time. So it made me value that very like naturally. When you find something that you really like doing, then you don't mind doing that by yourself. You don't let anyone else who doesn't align with you and who doesn't fill your soul to like come into your life and just fill that void, because that void is already filled by you. You don't see the need to seek out anymore. Like, so the relationships that you have, you start to question. You're like, do I actually like this person for who they are and what they are in my life? And I want to like emphasize that like you'll never know who you truly are to the core. Like life is such a journey, but when you start doing the intrinsic work, you can literally ask yourself, why do I like this person? Why do I like this job? Where do I find fulfillment? What makes me happy? And when you talk to yourself, you find voices within yourself. I'm truly realizing like the Holy Spirit is in me, and me and the Holy Spirit are one. I am led by God. Everything that I am doing, He supports. The person that I want to become is the person that He will support as long as I truly believe in the vision that I have for myself. Before, it was very clouded. It was very clouded by like the opinions of others and opinions of the world and opinions of what I thought was quote unquote right, because of what I've been conditioned to believe. The outside opinions start to strip away. Like you get more clear with like what really is you and what really isn't you. And that is why you get like this huge epiphany moment where you're like, is this the life that I want to continue to live? You start to pick up on the habits that you started. Your brain will always try to put you back into comfort place because that's what you're used to and that's what you think you're deserving of. Because you're so used to being in this one place, you want to stay there. So when you start to break out of it, it will start to pull you back. It's like, hey, we're not comfortable there. Where are you going? Like, come on, like this is not what we signed up for. No, you have to keep it moving, because when you start getting new values and you start getting like new morals to stick to, and like you start setting up this new life for yourself, you're not going to be in the same place. New opportunities are going to come at you, new people are going to come at you, and like when that time comes, like you have to learn to what to let go and what to grab onto, because if you try to drag your old self with you to your new chapter, that old self will just bring you back and you will always be in the same place forever. And being in that same place forever is hell. Like you have to know that you can get yourself to where you want to be. Maybe that's some things in your life aren't going the way that you want because you're not believing so and you're not acting like the future self of you. Like you will only be given the things that are meant for you if you start aligning with the same frequency. If this higher version of you is vibrating at this frequency, at this high frequency, you're going to be attracting like bigger things. So you also need to match up to that frequency. So if like you're vibrating at this lower part of you and like you're making the same mistakes, you're going back to this like toxic habit, you're just like limiting yourself, settling for whatever life throws at you, what makes you think that you can get to that version of you? In order for you to like get to the next level of your life, you have to get clarity. I think this was just like a very long way of saying how important clarity is. And like that's why a lot of successful people find who their core is at their lowest moment of their lives. You have to be desperate enough to want to live a different life. It doesn't come when you have all these things going on in your life. You can either see your quote unquote isolation as a gift, or you can see it as a struggle. That if you make a mindset shift that like everything that you're given is a gift and that you can figure something out, then you're always going to, because life is not just going to always be good. Acknowledge that life is gonna be shitty sometimes. Like shit happens. Like if you don't know how to enjoy life with the struggles and with with the shit in your life, then you're never going to enjoy life. You won't be happier just because you get what you get. True happiness is found from within. It's all about your character building, realizing who you are without everything else. That leads me to saying, when you are so content with who you are without everything else in the life, like you're just like, you just love the person that you are, not a lot of things can fuck with you. Everything starts to revolve around you. It's not anymore of, is this person going to like me? It's more like, am I going to like them? You switch the narrative. It's like when you build a relationship with yourself, that becomes like your number one priority. That becomes your like your foundation for relationships. The relationship that you have with yourself and how much you love yourself is the foundation for like every other building relationship. You build relationships off of like how much you think you are deserving of love. Oh, she's so cocky. She loves herself so much. Like she thinks she's all that. She thinks she fuck yeah. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how you can start spending time alone. First of all, give yourself affirmations. I know this sounds a little cheesy, but give yourself affirmations that you can do it. So plan one day to give to yourself. Take yourself out on a little date. Write down your perfect ideal date and then like do that with yourself. When you can enjoy time with yourself, you start showing yourself that you enjoy your company and that you enjoy like, hey, these things are actually fun. Like you start to like be very independent. Now I love running errands by myself because that's the time that I have to blast my music, live in my own world. I literally feel like I'm the main character of a movie, like running errands with her little dog and just like na 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 na. I feel like that bitch. Don't take yourself to somewhere that you would not go on a regular basis. Start with something you really enjoy doing. So for me, like I love cafes, I love coffee, like I love trying out new drinks. Like that is my love language, and I love going on long drives. I love going to the mall. So everything that I always do alone is things that I know I can find joy in, like no matter what. So like me going to go get coffee, sign me up. And I know I'm gonna have a good time because regardless if a person is there or not, I'm gonna love the coffee. I'm gonna enjoy my coffee. Like I set up things where I know I'm gonna enjoy it. So like I can stack experiences up to myself and be like, hey, remember when you had like a good time going out by yourself? Yeah, you're gonna have that experience again. Don't show yourself bad experiences. When you feel that blissful moment, try to sit in it longer. Like try to make your brain remember the blissful moment that you spend by yourself. I live like an hour away from the beach, right? Drove myself to the beach and I thought it would be a sunny ass day. But as soon as I got to Malibu, it was so fucking gloomy and I was like, no fucking way. And it actually started raining. But my plan, I'm saying this because not everything is gonna go to plan always. I was like, we are not having a bad day. I was like, we drove here because we weren't feeling good and we wanted to feel good. So I was like, I don't care. The weather can fuck with me, but I will not fuck with myself. I literally pulled up to the restaurant by the water, even though I was going to be on the sand. I was like, you know what? There's an alternative. We can go to the restaurant because I know I love restaurants and I know I love wine. Took my book out. I still read. I still did the thing that I told myself that I was going to do. I just like got wine instead. I brought up my blanket. I asked them to turn on the little fire and I had a good time. I spent like 2 hours there just reading and enjoying my wine, and that memory still sticks with me. Like it's something that could have been ruined, but I didn't let ruin. It's like you have to be the one to tell yourself that you can do it and break yourself out of the comfort zone. And that's another tip. Right when you think you can't do it and you want to back out, just push through it. It's the thing again where it's like your brain is trying to like, it's like trying to get you back into like your safe zone and like blah blah blah. I could have just like easily turned back and be like,
You know what? It's like raining, it's gloomy, like I don't want to be here.
you can be a negative Nancy of your life or you can take control of your life. Being alone actually teaches you to take control of your life too, because like when you're alone you hear like your inside voices so much, you can actually hear your thoughts going like, no, just don't do it, like who cares, blah blah blah. You need to shut those voices up, like because then when you can hear those voices you actually like know like you're repeating pattern thought. Like you can pick up on those pattern thoughts and like catch it and like switch it a lot better. Your brain is on autopilot. It doesn't know how to think for itself. It's just like going with what it's already used to. But when it's not on autopilot, when you're just like by yourself and you really have no one to talk to and like nothing to distract you, it's not on autopilot. When you're not dependent on anyone else to have fun, it becomes a lot more liberating. And when you don't need anyone else to fulfill your life and like to fill this part of your life, you start to realize that like really not everyone can have your time because you already love the time that you have by yourself so much. How could you not feel powerful after showing yourself that you're capable of doing everything by yourself? I think the biggest thing for me and on my like solo activities and my solo trips is that I just like get to like foster the person, my inner child. I heal my inner child. I don't want to see you guys filling a void. I don't want to see you guys like frolicking around in places that you're not appreciated, in places that people don't even like deserve you because you're lonely, because you want to fill a void, because no, like you don't need to fill a void. The void is in you, baby. Like you need to fill that void because you're not giving something to yourself, and that means you need to sit the fuck down. I'm saying this from love, okay? Ask yourself, what am I lacking? And you will know what you're lacking by what you're looking for in the world. it's all about balance, right? Like you can't have too much alone time. Like you can't just like be in isolation forever. But also like you can't have too much of like not alone time. You have to find the balance of what works for you. Being in my alone time is, here's what I've learned. When you're like in a quiet place, a lot of like your trauma, your past hurts, your past behaviors start to resurface. And it resurfaces because it's been kept inside for so long, and it just comes to you all at once. And you're like, oh my goodness, I am a mess. I am never going to heal. Why am I the way that I am? And you keep blaming yourself, blaming yourself. You just get to complete shit. Like you're like torn and you're like deep in the trenches. And then you start to pick yourself back up by going through each thing, putting bandages on that, and like making the scar completely disappear. When you help these scars disappear and like you put bandages in the places that you have to put bandages in, you're a new person. Very important, even in like relationships, that you have time for yourself and you figure out what you like besides your boyfriend. You have to know your own hobbies, like have your own friends, have your own interests outside of the world of your boyfriend. Like your boyfriend is not your world. It's crazy to think that. It's not. Like they're just a part of your life. They're just a part of your world. They just add to your life. They aren't your life. I want you to remember that, because when you make your boyfriend your center of the world, you're kind of giving them the power. Like everything revolves around them. They start to take advantage of that. And I don't want you to ever be in a position where you are taken advantage of because you don't have your own life. It shows when your life is your boyfriend, and it shows when you don't have your priorities straight, and it shows when you don't love yourself as much as you love your boyfriend. Show your boyfriend that you can spend time alone. When you can't spend time alone and you cling onto people and you cling onto your boyfriend or whatever in your life, that shows desperation. Like when you show desperation, like you can smell that from miles away, honey. When you smell desperation, they run. Like no one likes clinging. They're just a part of your life, okay? They are not your life. And I will always stress that you have to hold the power. Like you have to hold the power to yourself. I want you to truly remind yourself that being alone is not scary, and being alone is not a bad thing. You saw someone eating alone at a restaurant and you feel bad for them. Why? You're not lonely, you're just alone. I'd rather spend time by myself than be in places where I'm just gonna feel so drained after, because that is like energy depleting. It actually takes me so long for my energy to go back to normal if I'm like with like very draining people. And a lot of people drain my energy, and I know how long it takes for me to like recharge from that. That it's just like I'm not willing to compromise that. Like, hi. It's like you have to treat yourself like an actual, like another person. Like just pretend you are you and two. Like it's like your twin sitting right in front of you and you're just like talking to them. That's literally what I do. And it's like so much fun. I understand myself more than like other people understand me. Like who's gonna understand me better than me? Me. Here, think about it this way. When you go to an event, when you meet a friend, not like wanting to go, and you go anyway because like you have to go, you're not gonna be happy there. They're not gonna feel great either. And you're just gonna overthink it. If you're an overthinker, you'll be like, oh shit, like did I show that I didn't want to be there? Should I have not said that? Oh shit, did I just say that to fill in an awkward gap? Oh shit. Then your overthinking starts. But then if you're just alone, you could have just been like, I really like this Netflix show. What's next? All you need is like that one or two people that truly love you and know you for you to just like stick by you and like just support you and just have fun with. You're with yourself for the rest of your life. You're with yourself more than you are with anyone else for this life that you have. So better start getting used to it. Like you can't run from yourself forever. You're stuck with you. You have no one else. Like you are literally stuck with you. You can't take outside, you can't take your soul out and just throw it onto someone else. Like you have to like see your soul for what it is and be like, ha, this is you. Like, hello. Let's get to know each other. Like go on a first date with yourself. The second date and the third date, it's like a marriage. Like till death do us apart, like literally. You're marrying yourself. There is no one in this world that's going to be with you longer than you have. Love who you're becoming. Enjoy the person that you are now, because you will never have this version of you ever again. What are you going to keep doing if you keep missing the moments? Like let's say you have a child, right? You want to be with them for every step of the way, right? And you want to see them say their first word. You want to see them do their first walk, and like you want to witness everything and you want to be a part of every step. So why not that with you? You don't want to miss out every single part of your life because you were so distracted by this ugly and that ugly. No, no, no. When you know how valuable and cherished you are, you do not tolerate shit. Do not hurt her like me. Do not hurt the me inside of me, because I will fuck you up. Why are you standing up for the people that you love in your life like so confidently, and but when it comes to defending yourself, you like shred into little pieces. Your relationship with you is priority, priority, baby. Like, you need to know how to back yourself up. No one is coming to save you. You save yourself. It doesn't matter your mom, your dad, or your friends, your spouse, your partner, your dog. They're not saving you. You need to save yourself, because it's literally you against the world, honey. There isn't no like, oh, like this person. No, people can be fake. People betray you. Even the person that you thought would be in your life forever, they might not be. Like, people are people by nature. Like, people are not perfect. So when you rely on other people to fulfill a part of you and to do this and that, you end up becoming disappointed. I'm telling you, you have expectations in people, they can disappoint you, because you're giving the power to them, you're giving the control in their hands. When you put expectations on yourself, the only person that can fail you is you, and the only person that can heal you from that failure is you. When you can make your failures into something else, that's where you get your confidence from. When someone else fails you, that's it, period. They fail you. There's nothing that they can do to make you not feel like they failed you, like, because the control is not in your hands. Like, when you try to control, thing is, when you're always coming from lack, you are asking this and that of this and this, and when those needs are not met, you get mad, you get angry, and you're like putting this anger on them. But it's like, why did you have those expectations from them in the beginning? When you're going into a relationship, let me give you a little relationship advice. When you are going into a relationship with someone, don't like them because they can do this for you, they can do that for you. Like them for them. Truly see them for who they are. That's why I believe in like slow dating, like getting to know someone and then like making it official, because if they are not supportive of your lifestyle that you have created for yourself, same goes for you too. When you are signing up for a relationship with someone, you have to know that you're signing up for like everything that is in their life too. Their laziness or their ambition, their gym schedule or their work schedule. Like, you cannot force people to do anything. The only person that you can really force to do anything is yourself, and you have control over yourself, is what I want to get back to. The thing is, my motto in life is like, it's your world and they're just living in it. This is my reality. This is my world. Everything in life is up to you. There is no one in this life that can make the life that you want for yourself other than you, and that all starts with getting to know yourself first and building a relationship with yourself, so you know what you even want. Like, can you love a person if you don't know shit about them? No. Like, if you're in a relationship right now, you know why you got yourself in that relationship, right? It's because you love the person. You can't grow the relationship if you don't talk to them, if you don't spend time with them. So how do you expect to grow a relationship with yourself when you're not talking to yourself and spending time with yourself? Find the balance, and your brain will tell you, your soul, your intuition will tell you when it's time for you to reevaluate things, and when you really need to sit down. And I'm saying, like, when it's telling you to sit down, don't avoid it. Like, if you keep avoiding it, it will come to you so big that you can't even avoid it. Before it gets to that point, I want you to recognize it for yourself. I think this is another thing that I learned, is that I thought like I needed to struggle. Oh my god, the wind. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm gonna do it like this. I think the thing is like, I thought I always needed to struggle for me to get what I want in life, and I'm starting that it's like a pattern that I have a lot. I think when you spend a lot of alone time, you start to like hear your voices a lot louder and clearer. I was driving to San Diego and I forgot what it was, but I remember this thought. It was like, you don't need to struggle for you to get what you want in life. You can just take the action from step one instead of having to go through step 1 through 5. I think like, for me, I always thought like I have to go through all steps and see the struggle and like struggle a little bit and then get the thing that I want. But I'm starting to realize, if I just like realize from step one that I don't need to struggle and that I can just do it without the struggle, like I don't need to experience all that for me to get what I want in life, it's like a lot easier. It's like I literally do it to myself. Like, you create your own pain, just like how you create your own reality. I've realized that when you spend time by yourself and you start talking to yourself, the voice in your head gets a lot more clear. So like, you know how you always have two voices? It's like, do it and don't do it. Sometimes the do it is right, sometimes the don't do it is right, and you're always like confused between the two. But when you spend so much time alone and like you get to know yourself a lot and like core of you a lot, your brain does this thing, like, so your brain is here, right? And then, but the thoughts, it like washes all over your body, that your body just becomes so sure. The voice in your head is just like so directly clear that it's hard to misinterpret it. So for example, this pink, I love this baby pink, I love white. It becomes as easy as that. I want to end with this. When you choose a certain thing in life, you have to give up something else in life. You can't have both, and you have to be okay with that. Like, you can't like, pick everything and have everything like go in your perfect little world. So don't give up on your self-loving journey and like your alone journey, and don't think that you've done everything that you could to like love yourself and like to keep going and to find this new chapter of you until like you've really done everything, you will know when it's just you wanting to tap out because it's too hard. Don't tap out when it gets hard. When it gets hard is actually when you start seeing the light. When it gets hard is when your body is again wanting to go back to comfort. When you push through it, you will see the light at the end of the tunnel, like it is there. I also want to tell you, not everything will happen from A through Z. Just because like you go through this new awakening, it doesn't mean like everything else is going to be solved. It's just like that awakening that you needed in that moment of your life. Life is a step-by-step journey. It's not a race. Like it's not like a zoom and like you're there. Like no, you have to make some pit stops along the way. Take a little pee break, but you will get there. As long as you don't give up on yourself and you keep going, you will get there and you will come out 10 times stronger. Believe me when I say this, okay? Thank you for tuning into this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. I think you should watch the video. If you're on audio, I think you should watch the video because this aesthetic is kind of cute. I'm loving like this terracotta feel. I feel like I'm in Palm Springs right now. But I hope you enjoyed this week's episode and I will see you in the next episode. Bye! Mwah.